So here is a fairly simple brining mixture that I'm going to try out. Step one is the salt. I do 3/4. I'm going to do 3/4 for this single chicken. Salt's obviously the main thing you want. I'm going to throw some bay leaves in there. I just used what we had. We didn't have that much. Italian seasoning. That kind of covers all the typical stuff, the basil, rosemary, thyme, oregano, you know, some other stuff, some sage. And then the brown sugar. Some people use honey. I've always liked brown sugar. It seems to work pretty good. Okay, so now we got the water pretty much boiling, close enough to dissolve. I think it's hot enough. So now we just add all the ingredients. Salt. I'm gonna kind of stir it when you do this. Make sure it doesn't plop down. Just gonna dump it all in there. So as you can see now, scraping the bottom, no salt, no sugar. I'm just gonna turn it off. And then I'll probably just let it sit here for a little bit and cool off naturally. And then I'll add it to the water, the cold water. All right, so it's been sitting for a little while. Still a little steamy, but I'm just gonna add it to the cold water, help it cool off a little quicker. So then one trick you can do too, if it's still too warm and you don't want to add the chicken yet, you can throw some ice cubes in there. That'll cool it down real quick. So I might do that. All right, so it's been sitting there for all night. Nice and brined, ready to go. All right, so what you want to do is you want to rinse it off. Do not skip that step. Rinse it off, pat it dry, get some twine, and you want to tie its legs like that, right in the back there. And then tighten its wings down. You don't want anything flopping around because it'll burn on the rotisserie if it's too far away from the main body. So tuck it all in. Just get that cooking twine. And you're gonna season it up. So today I'm going to try a little blackened seasoning. See how that tastes. You want to make sure these are tight. If these get loose while it's cooking and it's not rotating, it'll burn really quick. I always need to make sure it's rotating. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Go get the grill started. Okay, that's going. One thing you want to make sure you got a tray for underneath, because it drips a lot of fat, and you don't want it just dripping on your regular grill area. So, grab the motor, plug it in. Set it up, let it warm up a little bit. We're good to go. Throw it on. All right, it's warmed up. Gonna get her on. Stick it in the motor. Get it rotating. There it is. So we'll leave that on for, I'll check it, I'll put a timer for like a half hour, I'll check it. It might probably take about an hour, but I'll check the temp in about an hour. Never let it stop rotating when it's on this thing. That's one key tip you never want to do. Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit. So my grill has this little smoker box that I threw some chips in. Whether the those little pellet things, so when it's smoking. Okay, so it's been an hour. Do a little check here. We're at 145-ish. You gotta be careful because if you poke all the way through, you get into the cavity and you're not in the meat, and then it cools off. Okay, so that was a good poke, about 150. So we're gonna let her keep going a little bit here. So I've never done this before. Instead of, usually you take meat off and you wrap it, but I just left it on here and just kept it rotating. Shut everything off. So there's no heat. There's kind of a residual heat, but I just kind of left it rotating. So I figured I'd keep the moisture kind of in there, as good as wrapping, if not better. So we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be all right. There we go. A little Caesar salad, some rotisserie chicken. It's gonna be good.